I was told by the packet we are to see a series of initiatives which will make people happy, but no clue as to what those are yet. Watch this space. But it follows packet MD Brian Thompson going out to talk to farmers about the farmers' take on ferry costs. This came after Mr Thompson, who had been on the stage for the government's conference at the Comis, had said he was keen to talk to people, to customers. But he's now certainly grasped that nettle, for a few days later he was at Paul Custane's farm in Colby, and that impressed Mr Custane.
Straight away, Mr Thompson came down. We expressed our concerns.
What concerns? What was top of your list?
Well, the price, the concern of trying to get livestock off the island, because the meat plant, unfortunately, there's a lead time of, I believe, cattle are about 7 weeks now, and lambs are about 6 weeks. That's the time to get the animals booked into the abattoir, which is. It generally works out, it's probably more like 8 to 10 weeks at times. So export is the only option we've got. If we've got animals that are ready to for the butcher's market, for the housewife, we've got to get the animals from gate to plate. So shipping is our only option, but it's the cost. But he has, I'm sure he'll make an announcement. He has to get it officially signed off, the prices. I don't know whether I can disclose that.
But he is looking at it. He's looking at the prices.
He's looked at it, yes. He's looked at it, and he's very, very, very cooperative, and it looks like there's a way forward.
Did he give you any idea of when he might be talking to the powers that be, if I can put it that way?
I think last Thursday, he was putting a proposal to government, to the Council of Ministers maybe, to see if they could sign that off, to see if we could encourage more export of general goods, not just agricultural goods. You know, the island needs to have a better access to the marketplace in the UK. That's all anybody really ever wants, you know, a face-to-face talk, explain their situation. We can explain our situation. I'm not acting on behalf of the Farmers Union. I'm just an individual farmer that wanted the best for the community, really.
Currently, open water exists between the company's assessment on the relative costs of our ferry transport and the Manx National Farmers Union, who this summer put out their commissioned report into the cost of crossing the Irish Sea, saying it doesn't compare favourably in terms of other similar ferry services. The packet questions the NFU figures. But now something is afoot. Initiative's the word used. I went to see the packet's MD.
I don't know about taking suggestions to the Council of Ministers. I think Treasury is a shareholder, so anything that we do, they have to be aware of, and they answer to the Council of Ministers.
So can I ask you, what are you going to do?
You can ask, John, but an announcement on that will be made imminently. There's a number of measures that we are taking that should benefit different demographics of the community. You know, farmers being one of those, and sort of passengers in general as well. So those announcements will be made on the back of the removal of the 48-hour, 24-hour rule for booking, which I think has caused some confusion. I don't think people really understand it, but if they come in and try and book a ferry for the next day, and it's up to £200 cheaper, they'll see the benefits.
John Webster, speaking on Manx Radio's Perspective, is asking whether the waters around the packet are being muddied by what he terms a confusion of aims.
Is it to maximise its profits? Is it to encourage more visitors to come in TT week? Is it to look after the freight so that the farmers are benefited, etc.? You can't have a confusion of aims.
So the steam packet is to serve the island, but also be self-sustaining as well. And I think I've made this point before, when people were up in arms at the thought of the steam packet making a profit. Any profit we make gets reinvested back into the future of the island. You know, vessels don't last forever, contrary to popular belief on social media. There's everything has to be maintained, wages have to be paid, and everything we do is for the sort of future of the island.
But the problem is, if you give leeway to one sector, another sector presumably has to pay the cost.
Not necessarily. I think what we're looking at is just sort of rebalancing how we do things, giving a little bit back to the community where we can, and I suppose that's something we'll always do. the thought is that any changes we make will grow the island, grow the economy. The Isle of Man government's already said they want to grow the population. The board that I sit on also want to grow the visitor numbers. So it should all be positives going forward.